Hello everyone, and welcome to this episode of Committee Reads. I'm your host, KWCs, and with me today, I have Alex, Nagoda, and Joe. Today, we will be looking over Match 103, King Caesar Millennium vs. Monster X, written by Jacob Haas. Destruction. It was Monster X's only thought while he was resting inside of his meteor as it raced towards Earth. Monster X had once tried to conquer the planet but failed due to Godzilla's intervention. Though he managed to escape with his life, his pride as the destroyer of worlds was crushed. The alien was coming back for his revenge. He would not stop until he had destroyed this planet or died trying. The meteor was traveling at incredible speeds towards Earth, the planet's atmosphere pulling the meteor closer and closer towards itself. The demon was about to awake. It was quiet. It was a quiet, sunny day at the Okinawa prefecture. It had been nearly a year since a monster terrorized the area, the lack of monster attacks allowing the citizens to live in peace. That peace was about to end. The meteor crash-landed into a village, leaving a large crater in its wake. A large skeletal figure rose up out of the crater, its eyes burning red with hatred. The Agent of Destruction was ready to annihilate the entire prefecture, then the rest of Japan, and then finally the world. He planned to destroy any obstacles that stood in his way. His first one was about to appear. Hidden within a nearby mountain was King Caesar. The deity was resting in case any evil should dare attempt to attack his homeland. The arrival of Monster X had awakened the ancient guardian. King Caesar roared and busted out of his resting place, ready to do battle with the evil alien. Monster X quickly turned around to see King Caesar appearing from the mountain. The golem's ruby eyes glinted brightly due to the sun reflecting off their surface. The alien was ready to fight the stone guardian as the skeletal figure opened his mouth, letting out a low growl. King Caesar roared back in retaliation, warning any surviving civilians to leave the area. Pass. Nagoda.
Wait, where are we at?
Gosh darn it.
King Caesar.
Yeah, my phone died, so I just got back in. Where are we at?
King Caesar roared back in retaliation. We're on the 6th paragraph, or end of the 6th paragraph, or indentation. So.
Wait, King Caesar charged, right? Or
you were looking at the two kaiju began to charge at each other.
The two kaiju. Okay, found it. The two kaiju began to charge at each other. King Caesar leapt into the air and tried to kick the alien humanoid, but Monster X pulled at the deity's leg. I was really tempted to just start reading from the book right now, but King Caesar was shocked by the alien's strength. Monster X began swinging King Caesar around like a rag doll before finally letting go, sending the golem hurtling into a mountain. The impact was tremendous, and the stone deity was buried underneath the rubble. Monster X let out a low, quiet laugh. The demonic alien didn't think that the guardian was very impressive. The humanoid began to walk away, believing his foe to be beaten, when he heard King Caesar break free from his tomb and roar at him. Monster X turned to face the golem. He was impressed that his foe wanted to keep on fighting. He decided that he'd have a little fun with his opponent before starting his destruction of Okinawa. The alien's eyes glowed gold for a brief moment, before firing several golden rays at King Caesar. The beam struck the beastly deity in the chest, explosions rippling and scorching the fur on his chest. The attack was powerful enough to make the golem fall down to one knee. Monster X began chuckling demonically and started advancing on his fallen enemy. King Caesar noticed the ground become dark as Monster X was right in front of him. King Caesar snickered. The alien had fallen for his trap. King Caesar sweep-kicked Monster X, causing the skeletal kaiju to lose his balance and fall with a ground-shaking thud. King Caesar leapt on top of the humanoid.
Nagoda, are you there? You kind of cut out.
Nagoda.
Nagoda?
Nagoda.
Nagoda?
Nagoda!
Yeah, you are at King Caesar.
Hello?
Yeah, you there? You there? Nagoda!
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, that was weird. Discord cut out for a bit there.
Yeah, it did. You were at King
Yeah.
Caesar leapt on top of the humanoid.
Okay, let me. Okay. I have to figure out how far back that was now.
Ground shaking thud, King Caesar leapt on top of the humanoid.
Okay. King Caesar leapt on top of the humanoid and began pummeling it with his fists. Monster X grunted in pain. He was angry at himself for falling into the deity's trap. He was going to make him suffer greatly for this. Monster X's eyes began to glow again as he turned and fired his gravity beams at the golem. One of the beams blasted off part of King Caesar's ear, while the rest struck his chest again. The attack sent King Caesar flying off from Monster X's body, the deity yelping in pain as he clutched at the missing part of his ear. Got back up and stomped the severed portion of King Caesar's ear with tremendous malice. King Caesar snarled at the skeletal demon. The stone guardian charged recklessly, but Monster X jumped into the air while spinning, smacking Caesar in the face with his tail. King Caesar stumbled back a bit, stunned by the attack, and Monster X quickly gravity beams at the golem. The skeletal alien began chuckling, certain that this attack would destroy his foe, but unbeknownst to him, King Caesar had a trick up his sleeve. After the behemoth stopped laughing, face turned in shock as he saw two of his gravity beams were sent right back at him. The beams struck Monster X's chest, the force of the beams pushing the alien titan back a bit. The beams slightly burnt the alien tide, causing Monster X to groan in pain. The alien was wondering how this happened. He looked at his opponent. The remaining beam had struck King Caesar and caused him to kneel in pain. So how did two of his own beams come back to hurt him? Monster X was puzzled by this. King Caesar grunted and got back up, ready to fight once again. Monster X decided to fire another wave of gravity beams. This time, the alien invader was watching to see what caused his beam to come back at him. As the beams came rushing at King Caesar, the stone guardian positioned himself so that the beams would hit him directly in the face. One of the beams went over the deity's head, while the other beams hit the golem in the eyes and were reflected right back at Monster X. The alien humanoid jumped up into the air to avoid his beams, but one of them struck his leg. Monster X grunted in pain, and once he landed on the ground, he moaned again. The attack was painful, but at least he knew his opponent's secret now. I have one more, right?
Yeah, one more.
King Caesar charged and kicked the alien in the face, sending him flying into a mountain. Monster X continued his counterattack and tackled the stone golem. King Caesar fell, letting out a loud grunt when he hit the ground. The alien began pummeling the golem in the face with his fists. King Caesar grunted and retaliated by slashing his foe in the chest. Monster X leapt off King Caesar, and to inspect his wound, a foul, vile liquid started to ooze out of his chest. Monster X snarled at the hairy guardian. The invader wasn't going to let it pass.
Monster X fired more gravity bolts at King Caesar, the fiend's anger getting the best of him. The golem repositioned itself, reflecting gravity beams right back at the sinister alien. The humanoid dodged the beams, which ended up... The trees caught on fire almost instantly, and the fire slowly began to spread around the area. Monster X began chuckling at King Caesar. The guardian snarled at the invader as he rushed and tackled him into a mountain. King Caesar began punching Monster X in the face repeatedly. The alien grunted in pain as blood started to ooze from his lower jaw. Monster X finally retaliated by headbutting King Caesar, sending the guardian tumbling to the ground. Monster X was dizzy. He was surprised at how hard his foe's head was. X pulling himself up off the mountain and let out a ferocious roar at the
Hold on a second, man.
and kicked Monster X.
Could you start that paragraph over? You were kind of crapping out on my end. Also,
Okay.
fan's a little loud. I assume that's your fan.
Gosh fucking darn it. Hang on. Can you hear it now?
It wasn't as bad as it was before, so that should be fine.
Okay. The Mighty Protector saw Monster X pulling himself up off the ground, and let out a ferocious roar at his opponent. The golem ran up to the alien and kicked Monster X in the chest, sending him tumbling back into the mountain. Rubble and dirt poured over the fiend and burying him. Caesar looked around to see that the entire area was engulfed in flames. Though victory had come at a cost, it was well worth it for the deity. He knew that the forest could be brought back to life. The golem let out a victory roar. He had seemingly beaten the alien. That victory was short-lived. Monster X erupted forth from his grave, roaring in anger at the Guardian. The Titan shook the dirt from his body and coughed. King Caesar's kick the fiend saw King Caesar charging at him, but the Guardian abruptly stopped and leapt through the flames at Monster X. The huge Caesar, causing him to collide with the mountain. The mountain finally gave in and crumbled against the repeated assaults. King Caesar was stunned, allowing the demonic alien to continue his attack. Monster X grabbed Caesar by the legs and began swinging him around. The alien beast released King Caesar, sending him flying to another mountain, shrieking in pain. Monster X continued his assault on the Guardian by firing several gravity bolts. Explosions rippled throughout King Caesar's body, causing him to shriek in agony from the attack. Chuckling demonically as the Titan advanced towards his opponents before lowering down as he punched King Caesar in the stomach with all his might. The punch managed to penetrate the golem's gut. The alien felt no blood, only metals and gems. This shocked Monster X as the alien finally realized what his opponent truly was. Then how does he have mitosis? How many was that?
You have one more.
Okay. Unfortunately for him, this gave King Caesar the opportunity to retaliate. The Guardian grabbed Monster X's arm and managed to pull it out of his stomach, then slammed it into his knee. A bone-chilling snap was heard. Monster X's arm was broken. Monster X shrieked in pain and cradled his now broken appendage. Rage was now the only thing in Monster X's mind now, and he started firing a barrage of gravity beams at King Caesar's stomach wound. The beams successfully hit their target, causing the wound to enlarge. King Caesar stumbled back, clutching his wounded stomach. Monster X then grabbed King Caesar by the neck with one hand. The Guardian instinctively grabbed the alien's hand to try to force it to release him. King Caesar desperately started kicking Monster X in the gut, but to no avail. Monster X reached towards King Caesar's eyes with his broken arm, and managed to clumsily tear one of the deity's ruby red eyes.
Monster X released King Caesar, dropping the deity. Monster X groaned in pain due to his broken arm. The Titan watched the spectacle before him. King Caesar rolled around, squealing in pain due to his missing eye. Some of the deities' fur caught on fire from rolling dangerously close to us and burning trees. Didn't take long for Caesar's body to be engulfed in flames. King Caesar shrieked in painful agony as the fire burned his body. Monster X turned and began walking away from King Caesar. Due to silence, Monster X paused to lick Caesar's.
To lick Caesar's eye?
Yeah, that seems odd.
Mm-hmm.
Even the phrasing that, like, pause to look Caesar's eye. Yeah, it should have been like look at or something, or looked at specifically.
What is this? The Black Christmas remake?
It was as bright as his own eyes. He was amused by it. Suddenly, Monster X felt a sharp pain in his back, causing him to drop the eye. King Caesar had gotten back up and slashed the alien Titan in the back with his claws. Monster X stumbled forward, his flesh wound stung. King Caesar continues to grab Monster X from the Monster X's neck. King Caesar's body was still aflame. The fire soon traveled to the alien invader's body. Monster X squealed in intolerable pain. The alien started smashing his elbows into the golem's stomach. The chest wound larger and larger, forcing the Guardian to release his opponent. Monster X rolled around on the ground quickly to put out the flames on his body. Through this, although the skeleton alien's attempt is successful, his skin was badly burned by King Caesar's attack. Monster X sprung back up and fired several gravity bolts at King Caesar. Being blasted at the stone deity in the chest and on his right arm, King Caesar roared as rock and burning fur fell from his body. Monster X then slowly began to extend his right arm. Alien responded, starting to charge at the golem, head on to meet the assault. King Caesar spread out his right arm even further. Soon Monster X realized what King Caesar was going to do, but it was too late. King Caesar clotheslined Monster X and the alien crashed into the ground with a sickening thud. Caesar's flaming arm had boiled the flesh on the invader's neck. Titan noticed something flying in the air. It was King Caesar's right arm. Holy shit! The force of the attack must have been strong enough to break the arm off the golem's body. The flying arm soon fell. Monster X shattered from the bottom and back. Monster X killed. Hot shards of Caesar. King Caesar then leapt at Monster X and kicked the alien. The burning deity's foot shattered into bits, several pieces of it embedded in Monster X's flesh. The two nagging flames belched forth from King Caesar's stomach. Fire was taking its toll on the protector. King Caesar had only one last chance if he wanted to defeat Monster X. It was all or nothing. Flaming Guardian launched at Monster X, hoping to smother the beast in flames and burn to life. Unfortunately for King Caesar, Monster X had other plans. Devious Invader fired gravity beams at King Caesar's stomach and successfully hitting his target. Attack managed to blast King Caesar in half. The top half of the Guardian flew into the air and crashed in front of Monster. Shattered a bit. Bottom half fell down shortly after Monster X's attack and crumbled into pieces. King Caesar's hopes as well as his body and dreams were shattered. He had failed to protect Okinawa from Monster X. The force had become hell itself, and soon the prefecture would be ruined at the hands of Monster X. Monster X knelt down and picked up the gem he held earlier. He looked at what was King Caesar's ruby red eyes. Jewel amused the alien for a moment, but then Monster X casually tossed the gem behind him, landing in the burning King Caesar. Shouldn't have thrown him away. He could have pawned them off for bus tokens. The jewel no longer amused him, but though his opponent gave him some trouble, he wasn't as strong as he thought, which disappointed the invader. He knew he had a better trophy than the Guardian's eye, Godzilla's head. Though the damage done into his was great, he had suffered worse and would recover from it eventually. The burning force behind him continued on its path of destruction in the hopes of not only conquering the Earth, but finally needs a do-over because Monster X can't win.
I will be the first to say honestly, I still like it. It has a couple of little problems, but I still like this match. I think the fight's decently choreographed. I would say it's a little better than 101. It's still not like up there with the greats or whatever, but it's still it's a little above average. I think it has a decent, the two do have a decent enough fight. And I think it does some cool stuff with it. King Caesar's Trixies, or even like that ending part with King Caesar like trying to take out Monster X while pretty much burning to death. That's really cool. Yeah, I like this match. I think this one holds up really nicely. And it's Monster X's first win, so good for him. But yeah, I think, the match is good. The banner's like, the banner I think is really solid too. I like the way that looks. So this honestly,
Implies you were lying.
Everything I've said is a lie. I'm just kidding. No, I think this is a really good match. This is a really solid match. Good for you, Jacob Haas. You have a supporter right here. Nagoda, what'd you think of it?
It was good. One thing I noticed is that whenever King Caesar tries to defend Okinawa alone, he always dies.
It's about as cliche as Mothra dying.
Yep. And
Lion bad.
I like the banner. Some really good fire effects, smoke effects. Plus, they're actually facing each other. Next person.
Okay. I still really like this match. I think I would probably still say it might still be my favorite
Your
out
favorite?
of every match. I mean match 88.
Good man.
Just say second
But
favorite.
this is my second favorite. I think it is very well written. Aside from the overuse of using the monsters' names, that got kind of annoying.
Yeah, that was exhausting to keep saying.
Yeah.
Along with that one sentence where stared King Caesar's eye or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, look at
that one set.
Yeah, like
one sentence was worded horribly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't like I said, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I think the actual everything else I think holds up fine.
Yeah.
It's I think that one part in Night of the Living Dead where there's that obvious cut.
Oh.
If you know what I'm talking about, they cut out like 6 minutes worth of dialogue between the married couple.
Oh.
And there's that obvious jump. That reminds me of that one sentence.
I think this is a really nice contrast between 102 because they both have kind of the same premise. An evil alien fights a guardian and the guardian dies.
Oh yeah.
Except this one is edgy and actually treats both combatants with respect.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And it could have went either way, and I probably would have been happy. I like the characterization. Both of these monsters have character. They have kind of bare bones motivation, but they have like the right amount to be interesting.
And Alex, what'd you think of 103?
Rubbish.
Nah,
I'm just
okay, I was about to say.
solid match. Really liked the banner. I thought it was really neat. Fighting was pretty good. Aside from that one sentence, it was good. Not a whole lot I can say. Just solid match.
All right. Yeah, solid fight. I think the thing I'd like to mention, I think it moves at a decent pace. I don't feel like it slows. I think everything moves forward at just a nice brisk pace without being hampered down too much. So, with that said, I think we will see you guys next. I think this concludes our thoughts for match 103, and we'll see you guys next time for match 104. Take care, everyone.
Fuck you!